Morning everybody, so it's 5 a.m. again. Seems to come around quick, that, doesn't it? Today we are looking at quite a big one. We've got about 37 miles if I complete the whole distance from where I am in Giurgiu to Zimnicea. It's a pretty straight road. This is the bit that we reccy'd, so we've ridden much of this. It's a pretty straight main road. It's not crazy busy, and there's little towns along the way, so it should be okay for stopping for water and refuel and those things. So I'm hoping it should be fairly kind of good running today. It hasn't stopped that. I've still, again, that kind of nervous feeling that I have every morning when I wake up and I'm about to go out and do the miles is still present. I think this is when the doubts come heaviest, really. I don't know why, first thing in the morning, but generally body feels pretty good. I've just checked my feet, and all of the blisters that sort of flared up initially have dried and sort of hardened, and everything down on the feet actually is sort of, it's looking in pretty good nick. Hip is a little bit, it's not sore, but I'm aware of it, and the same with the knee tendon from yesterday, so need to be very careful about managing those two, particularly now going into these longer distances over, over 30 miles is where that's where the wear and tear can really kind of happen. And we're off across Romania now. I think we've got about 5 days left. I keep saying we, like it's me and the monkey, the green monkey on the pack, but 5 days left in Romania, and then there'll be a couple of days in Bulgaria, and then that'll be 2 countries ticked off the list in about a week's time, which would be a huge milestone to reach, and one that I'm kind of, I don't wish the time away, but that's one that I'm looking forward to, having something under my belt like that. I think that would be massive. I'm not going to lie, this morning the distance feels long now. I don't know, I did some 40 milers early on in this trip, and I know I'm capable of running 40 miles, but it's very daunting just because of the heat, and just I know how I sort of feel at the end of it. It's like yesterday when doing the 22 miles in the end, it was roughly, it was kind of perfect. We had it done by 10:30, 11. Had a long day then to kind of recover and recuperate and take some mental time away from the act of running along the Danube. Got to meet and have dinner with the team of American sort of cyclists who are riding in the other direction. That was fantastic for spirits. It was just so nice to do something normal and hear their stories, and get some extra bits of advice about what's to come, some of the areas that might be difficult for me that I have to think about ahead. That was so nice. They bought me dinner, which was again just a wonderful, kind thing to do to sort of help me on my way. And they've given me a few sort of tips for some accommodation and campsites, and we've got shared information, so I can always tap them up for more if I need to. And I've had a breakfast today. I've had quite a big breakfast. I found the supermarket yesterday, so I've had like like a cinnamon swirl sort of thing. I've had a banana, I've eaten a whole avocado, I've had a yogurt drink, and I've got another banana here, and I'm sort of basically going to stock up before I go. Today is going to be the first day that I've had to run entirely fueling on sweets, basically. I haven't got any more proper running fuel left, it's all out. I pick up my next resupply in about 3 days. I think this will be the first time I've run something like a 40 miler ultra without having dedicated running fuel. So that's going to be a test. It's going to be interesting. Going to have to make sure that I'm taking on board enough energy throughout that, because I don't really want to be bonking in the midday sun further down the line. So we'll just be relying on sticking food in from the shops and all of those things. And beyond that, I just hope for a good day's running. I just hope the roads are nice to me. I hope the dogs are kind to me. I hope that I get a beautiful sunrise again, and it doesn't take too long to get out of town. Getting out of town is always a bit of frustrating when that sort of tends to mean you have to walk, particularly here. I think it's quite dense and built up. So I guess that's it really for the morning. Just fingers crossed. I want this one. It would be this one because it's a long one, a 41. There aren't too many kind of 40 pluses, but this is a big one. I want this to go well. I want to get through unscathed, in good condition. I don't want any of the sort of niggles that I've got to be exacerbated, and just get to that end point where I've got my accommodation booked intact, and it'll be a big one under the belt. So I've got to go and run using this today. use the head for everything. Strong, steady, sensible, controlled. That's all I've got to go. Strong, steady, sensible, controlled. So let's go out and do it.
Stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm wrong. I got it. I gotta go, running to better times. Go, from my emotions. I'll go, running to better times, 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 to better times. Remember I was laughing in all the photos that you took, but now it looks like acting, like we were fiction in a book. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night, like I'm leaving all the bad stuff.
Quick update then, I'm in Pietrasani. This is the place that we came on the recce. We wild camped near here. We came to this supermarket and had some food here in the morning, got it in the evening, and it feels good to be back in this kind of familiar place. It's quite a milestone actually to reach this, because this is the furthest west we got. So anywhere from here I don't know, but I was aiming for this today. Just running through familiar roads, that was quite nice. But today, the first 6 miles of, I mean, I was racked with self-doubt this morning. I cannot tell you how out of my depth I felt, and how I was questioning everything, what I was doing here, why I was running. Did I have enough miles in the legs today? Could I do it? It was punishing this morning. For the first hour and a half, just felt out a long way from home, wanted to go home. Didn't really know why. I was sort of questioning why I was doing it. Was running badly, everything felt heavy and empty and just difficult. And I think it was just it's all in the mouth, it was all in the sort of head. I'd gotten the number, like the 37-40 miler in my head, and decided before I even started that maybe I wasn't good enough for it, or, you know, I don't know why. Just didn't feel right at all mentally, wasn't in the game. So I just sort of started to move very slowly, and I just told myself that I had to run my way into today, and that's what I did. Just ran, and by the end of it I was feeling good, and I've gotten here in pretty good time. Sort of we're in 5 hours for sort of 22.5 miles, including a decent sort of 20-minute stop here that I've done to sort of recuperate and get some good fuel on board. And yeah, now hopefully the next 15, although it's getting hotter, are not going to be as punishing. Hopefully I can sort of take this home comfortably. 3 hours ideally would be great. Move steadily, keep the body intact, and get back still within a reasonable time in the day. And then I have to say, because of the way I felt this morning, and because of the distance of this one, and just because of where it is on the map, and that we came for the recce, and this would be a big confidence booster if I can survive this one intact and feel good at the end of it. And yeah, spirits at the moment sat here now are quite high. They were in the bin this morning, really, really bad. And it's something that I've got to learn to control a bit better, I think, and believe in myself, basically. But I was sort of found a little mantra that sort of worked for me, and it's just keep repeating to myself that I'm strong enough and that I have everything I need. I'm strong enough and I have everything I need, and that's it. You know, that's kind of worked for me, and it's true. I had all the fuel I needed in case I got hungry. I was, you know, and I have the power to get to the end of these, and I have to just believe in myself and take away that kind of weird hour of self-doubt that happens in the morning every morning. You know, and hopefully that will come a bit more in time, but every day is a bit of a step into the unknown. So anyway, I better stop talking and go and finish it off, hadn't I, now that I'm saying that, because I'm strong enough and I have everything I need. So let's go and do it.
And trying to remain so strong, I know it's good if I'm wrong. I got it, I gotta go, running to better times. Go, from my emotions I'll go.
So update time from day 12. I'm now back in my accommodation. Today's run was 38 miles, just a little bit over. And I'm not going to lie, the first 6 miles were absolutely dreadful. I didn't run them, I walked them. I sort of walked out of town. Giurgiu is quite a big city. And then just outside of Giurgiu, you end up in a place called Zimnicea, which is another smaller town about 2 kilometers out. So I ended up walking through both of those, mainly just to avoid sort of the dogs, but also I just wasn't feeling able to run. I was really struggling mentally. Like everything felt sort of empty. I felt heavy, physically, mentally. I was riddled with self-doubt this morning. I was just questioning everything really. I questioning whether I thought I could run 40 miles today. I was questioning whether or not I wanted to, whether or not I wanted to carry on doing this, whether, lots of sort of heightened emotions that were around not really feeling like I was going to be capable of this kind of big mission that I'm on, and not even the day, let alone the longer term mission. I don't know where it came from because I had such a good day yesterday that I'm surprised. Maybe that's it. I've sort of noticed that sometimes when you have a really good day, you can start by having a sort of maybe a negative day the next day. But also I think the distance got into my head a little bit. I allowed it to I allowed to look too much at how long it was and let that grow, and the fear of that distance. And I don't know, it didn't, I had some luck today. There were good things happen today. So it didn't get very hot. I think it only went to 29 degrees. So at the top of it. So we didn't hit any of like the 30, 34s, which I thought you might do towards the end of 40 miler, which is what took me 8 hours. The other thing I think that was kind of lucky, the roads weren't busy, so there were some traffic, but they're really nice and runnable. This was also on a stretch that we'd recce'd, so it was familiar to me as well. I knew what was coming up, pretty much. And the towns that you run through it's roughly around every sort of 10 Ks, are actually more beautiful than I remember. And they were more friendly, people were waving, people were saying hello. I said hello to lots and lots of people today. And it just felt good, all of it. I sort of, after the initial 6 miles, I told myself I just had to start running slowly, and I knew that I was going to have to run my way into the day. I had to hope that I could basically run myself stronger than I was, and just hope that it came good and it felt good. And actually, just by taking those first early steps and just trying to get into a rhythm, and it actually did. I had a fantastic day in the end. It was beautiful. It was lovely sort of countryside. Some of the stretches were just epic, kind of green and sunflowers and no cars, just open road. And even though you sort of get these big long shots of straight road that normally when you're running, they're kind of punishing because you sort of just look down to the horizon and think, oh my God, I've got to get there. I loved those. I actually got my headphones on today. I haven't been doing that very often because I think I felt safe and secure. There weren't really many dogs. There was a point in the run where I just felt like I could have run all day long, and it's not been that often that I felt like that on this. I haven't felt sort of that secure. That was the most sort of happy running I think I've done so far, maybe apart from some of the early days when I was out in the sort of really kind of wilderness. And so I'm really pleased. That's a big one for me because it was another, there aren't that many 40 milers, but that is one of them swallowed. And also just to come back from feeling so low and then coming on and being so strong, I think it's going to give me the strength to take into other runs where I'm feeling bad. I know that I can overcome and that I can keep moving. I actually sort of developed, I came off kind of thought just popped into my head that I started to repeat to myself, and I was just telling myself that I have everything that I need and that I am strong enough. I have everything that I need and I'm strong enough. So I have all the fuel and the water that I need. I don't have anything missing, everything that I need, and I'm strong enough. And this just kind of affirmation sort of really, really worked for me. Every time I felt a little bit down, I would just sort of say that to get it again, do a little check of the body and everything, and then just say, I have everything that I need, and I'm strong enough. And lo and behold, got to 38 miles and I was. So that is a big one today. It's also really kind of poignant because this was the place that we did the recce. So I reached a lot of the places that we'd sort of shared memories with Pat and John and Luke. and that felt really good. And now I've gone beyond again, slightly into the unknown, and so it's a bit of a milestone marker. We are closing in on sort of closing out Romania. We'll drop back into Bulgaria in a couple of days' time, do a bit of Bulgaria, then there's a couple more days in Romania, but we're not far off having completed one country, which it sounds crazy to me that even I've run across a country the size of Romania in a little over 2 weeks is not something I necessarily would have believed I could do. If that doesn't sound ridiculous, that I brought myself out here to do it, but it just, yeah, it's that's going to be a cracking thing. That's my next kind of milestone. That's what I'm kind of looking at. I take it day by day, but if there is a sort of distant milestone, it's getting that. That will be a huge achievement, I think, regardless of what happens beyond that. That will be a massive achievement. So, yeah, I'm now in some really nice accommodation, resting up. Had a massive pizza. The Haribo that I ate, that I've sort of packed, so I've not got any of my proper fuel. It kind of worked. Also today, I mean, I went through a lot of food. I think I've had 3 bananas. I ate 3 avocados, including one of those mid-run. I've had a kind of pastries. I've had chocolate bars. I've eaten my way through 3 medium-sized packets of Haribo. I've now had almost a full pizza. Yeah, I was troughing 2 cans of Fanta, a couple of bottles of 4 litres of fizzy water, I think 4 litres of regular water, fruit and nuts, all sorts. I've been scoffing all sorts all day long, and that worked as well. I think that was a big thing. Keeping well fueled has really helped. So yeah, tomorrow we have another 30 plus miler. We're going from Zimnicea to a place called Turnu Măgurele, which is a little bit more remote, I think, the town. I have to check and see how many towns we go through to make sure there's enough points to pick up bits and pieces for fueling and water along the way. And tomorrow I'm staying at a little pensione, which is just like a small B&B, but they don't have rooms. So I will be outside bivvying for the first time on this trip, but sleeping on a sun lounger. So that is going to be interesting. So I've had a bed so far and a shower and an indoor space. Tomorrow is the first time that I get to whip out the bivvy sack and the sleeping bag and the half mat, which I've been lugging for a mile, so I'm quite glad. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how well I sleep. But I'm actually quite excited about doing it, because that was supposed to be part of the adventure. But overall now, feeling pretty positive today, and that's not how I felt this morning. So every day you get from A to B intact is a win. And that's what I've done again today, and that's what I'll try and do again tomorrow. But yeah, again, thanks for all your comments and all your support. Don't forget to hit the donation link if you haven't already, or share this video with friends who you think might be interested in hearing about the story. And obviously want to raise as much money as possible for the 5 charities to sort of help poverty impacted children worldwide. So even, it'd be great if you could just share this out there, even if you've donated, or even if you can't donate, the shares are just as important as well. So yeah, and as ever, if anyone is out there looking and thinking about where they're, what I mean is if anyone wants to run with me, basically, if anyone's out there near the route, fancy coming in, you don't have to do a whole leg, you do like 5 miles, you can pop up for a coffee, bring me some water, do whatever. It's just nice to see some friendly faces. I'm very much open to it, so I'll pop a link to the route in the caption below, and just hit me up or pop me a message on Instagram or in the comments down here. I'm on Instagram at manvmiles as well, where I'm doing sort of more regular updates throughout the run, so you can follow those. But anyway, that's enough for today. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and yeah, onwards and upwards we go again tomorrow.